And in Bomet, the Governor Isaac Ruto is hosting leaders of the opposition National Super Alliance NASA today. Let's join our reporter Murimi Mwangi, who is in Bomet. And we expect NASA leaders and the KANU Secretary General at the event. But is it an event led by Bomet Governor, or is it a Mashinani rally event to unveil a merger? Murimi Mwangi, we join him now. And Murimi, is this a merger, or what exactly is the event that we're expecting this afternoon?
Good afternoon, Mike. This is the first public rally of the National Super Alliance, but we understand that it is happening here in Bomet at the invitation of the host governor, Isaac Ruto, whose party Chama cha Mashinani, he says, has been in constant communication with other political players and predominantly the National Super Alliance leaders, with preparations, of course, to broker consensus on a takeaway for the party Chama cha Mashinani, as well as consideration of policies that Isaac Ruto, by his own admission, he says would boost the lives of residents here, as well as the devolution which he alleges has been under systematic attack from the Jubilee regime. I put the same question to him yesterday, whether the function that is happening here today is the official entry of Chama cha Mashinani into NASA, and he said that the talks have been ongoing for some time and there are no timelines to when these talks will end, and that he is seeking a consideration of the implementation of his policies, which he says the Jubilee regime has failed to do so, predominantly on the issue of devolution. Key representation from the main founding parties in NASA, let's talk of ODM as well as Wiper and Musalia Mudavadi's ANC party, as well as a representation from Fort Kenya. And key figures that are attending this function here are the 12 members of the committee that had been set up to broker consensus on the NASA presidential candidate, Mike.
All right, and well, what's the mood in the grounds where you are? What are the numbers? Are there many people? What's the general mood that you have on the ground?
I didn't quite get your question, Mike, but of course the statement from Isaac Ruto yesterday when I spoke to him was that there's no longer any more talks between him and the Jubilee regime, because according to him they have failed to implement what he believes would be the key needs of the residents of Bomet as well as the country at large. But he says that entry to NASA is a consideration for him. Remember, KANU's Secretary General Nick Salat has confirmed that he will be attending the function here, much as he has been overruled in previous instances by the National Executive Committee for seeming to make a decision on behalf of the party. But he has said that he will be attending the function here in his capacity as a resident of this county and the Secretary General of KANU. Mike.
All right, final question, Murimi, before we let you go. Has there been any hostility from Jubilee supporters? There was word that there may be a bit of hostility from Jubilee supporters. Have you got any of that on the ground?
Well, initially, Mike, there were reports that there would be disruption of the function happening here today. But of course, there's no sign of that here in Bomet. And this function, even from the assurance of the security officers here as well as the governor, was going to be peaceful. There has not been any attempts whatsoever for disruption of the function here. And as you can see, tens of residents here have turned up for what is arguably a decision or seemingly a function that seems to give the direction on the decision that ultimately will be taken by Chama cha Mashinani with regard to the 2017 general election, Mike.
Thank you very much, Murimi Mwangi, our reporter who is in Bomet County, where we are expecting the rally to begin. Isaac Ruto hosting the NASA part of the coalition, and of course details of that will continue coming in as the rally begins. Let's move on to another story.